Indian Navy and the Indian Air Force conducting massive drills and holding a large meeting on the next step against China in the Ladakh and the Andaman Nicobar island regions. Indian governments connect 7 Chinese firms linked with Chinese military. Indian Air Force to conduct 2-day commander-level meeting to discuss the deployment of the advanced Rafale Jets, which is coming this month of July 2020. Also, the main event of the discussion is about the situation in the India-China border. As India's Defence Minister said, the talks are not guaranteed for peace. As of now, China refusing to leave the East Ladakh region of India. Air Force have deployed an entire fleet of most advanced jets of Mirage 2000, Su-30, MiG-29 along the China-India border. Even the Apache helicopters are also fully deployed along their border. To add strength to the Indian Air Force, India gets the Rafale Jets in few days' time. It has long-range air-to-air defense systems, which will be a bigger boost for the Indian Air Force against China and Pakistan. India plans to induct the Rafale along with the Russian fleets. Along with the Indian Air Force, the Indian Navy conducts a massive military drill in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands near the Malacca Strait. The drill includes the Indian Navy battleships, frigates, submarines and destroyer ships. Already the US Navy is conducting a massive military Navy drill in the South China Sea with USS Nimitz and USS Ronald Reagan aircraft carrier in a rare dual drill. Also, India has sent its Eastern Naval Fleet Rear Admiral Sanjay Vatsayan and the battleships along with it to the Malacca Strait region. When US Navy conducting a massive drill, India too now joined them, which indirectly both countries giving a big message to China. As Andaman and Nicobar Islands has all 3 military services of India, one of the former Indian ambassadors said in his policy brief, India should open up the islands of Andaman and Nicobar to the friendly navies countries such as the US, Australia, Japan and France. Some analysis wants the Quad headquarters to be set up in the islands. Indian government has identified 7 of the many Chinese companies in India are allegedly or directly or indirectly having the connections with the PLA or the Chinese military. The companies includes big names like Alibaba, Tencent, Huawei and India Steel Limited. The 2018 study already found that the startups of India are controlled by the Chinese investments in the category of social media, e-commerce and content making. Indian government is yet to decide what to do about the Chinese companies having a link with the Chinese military. So what do you think of Indian Air Force and the Navy conducting a massive drill along with the US Navy against China? Can India stop the Chinese companies' investment from investing in India?
Indian companies, including Mahindra, which is setting up the first ever Indian automotive plant in United States, are increasing their investment in America. The US Secretary of State, Rex Tillerson, said today. US companies and the products have everyday presence in the lives of Indians, and we see increasing investments by the Indian companies in America, including a Mahindra vehicle plant that will open this month in Detroit, the first ever Indian automotive manufacturing plant in the US. Tillerson said at a joint press conference with the External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj of India. Mahindra plans to roll out of road utility vehicles from the Detroit plant. Tillerson added that besides partnering on the issues related to regional and global stability, both the US and India continue to benefit from their strong economic bonds. Our 2 countries have a history of trade that dates back to 18th century, long before the independence of either one of our nations, said Tillerson. He also said, as the part of the growing trade relationship between the 2 nations, the first shipment of American crude oil arrived in India at the beginning of this month, making the first US oil export to India in more than 4 decades. Continued, all the sales have a potential to boost the bilateral trade by up to $2 billion per year. In fact, US-India trade relationship, which reached nearly $150 billion last year, touches many parts of the lives both of our country and the citizens, said Tillerson. After United States, UK, the Britain is keen on expanding its trade with India, a minister said today, asserting that there is a scope to further strengthening the thriving bilateral economic relationship in London. The Ministry of State for Asia and Pacific in the Foreign and the Commonwealth Office, Mark Field, who recently returned from the visit to India, said, "During my visit, I saw for myself the strength of India-UK partnership. Our economic relationship is thriving and we want to expand our £16 billion bilateral trade, generating jobs and developing skills," Mark Field told the members of Indian Journalists Associations. He also said the UK was one of the largest G20 investors in India, and the Indian companies have already created 110,000 jobs in UK, making them Britain's second largest international job creators. Mark Field also said there will be 1.5 million Indians in the UK who contribute richly to the British society. Over 470,000 Indians come to UK each year to visit, to study or to do business in the country. And with no cap on their student visas, we continue to attract the best and the brightest students to our world-class universities. 160,000 Indian students over the past 10 years has been in UK, said Field. He also said that Britain's strong relationship with India will continue even after the Brexit. Our message is that it is the business as usual, he stated. So what do you think of India is pouring its investment in US and UK? Will there be any race against India and China to both these countries?
The conspiracy theorists have been obsessed with extraterrestrial life for several decades now, which has also been portrayed in the movies as well. Every once in a while, people do claim to have spotted the UFOs, which are present as an evidence of existence of aliens, including us. Now, an unidentified Mars spotted in Antarctica on the Google Earth has become the center for the attention for the alien hunters. They are pretty convinced that the object is actually a spaceship that crash landed on its region. The strange object looks as it has crashed in the snow and the ice, sliding across the ground and leaving a trail in its wake. The alleged UFO was found by the eagle-eyed viewers on the Google Earth, and it is located in the South Georgia Island, is the South Atlantic Ocean, and it's slightly over 800 miles south of the Falkland Islands of South America continent. The popular conspiracy YouTube channel Secure Team 10 posted a video description of the crash, and in the clip the narrator says it appears to be some sort of massive elongated or cigarette-shaped object. And when we look at the images and the video of our own, we found that it cannot be an iceberg or an ice-related object, as the hilltop is not having any hot stiff ice. It looks like some kind of objects fell from the top of the hill and rolled over to the bottom with a path trail. Also, we are convinced that we can see some trails of the objects are submerged into the snow, as there are frequent snow winds which had covered the trails of the object. So according to our analysis, we have found it is sure an object, but can't tell it is an alien or alien thing, but definitely it's an UFO. So what do you think of it? Is it an alien spaceship which rolled over or crash landed on the top of the hill, or it's an iceberg, or it's some kind of missiles or any kind of object which cannot be predicted as far as of now? Post your comments below, and if you like this video, please give a thumbs up and follow us on social networks and subscribe to our channel. And thanks for watching. This is WC Daily. Think big, think different. Bye.